You know, I've been thinking a lot lately about the concept of work. Not just the action, but the intention behind it. And all of us work, right? Even if you're unemployed, you're still working towards something. You have a goal in mind, or your goal is the lack of a goal, right? Either you work to avoid work, or you work to achieve something, right? But what is it that you are truly trying to achieve? I think we need to take a step back and focus on that more than we really do. You know, a lot of us, me included, we try to power through it. We get up in the morning, we're like, go, get it done, go work, blah, 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 blah. But why are we working? You know, for me, I like to think it's my wife. I like to think it's because if I'm not working, I'm going to slip into past habits, you know, to depression, to addiction, to anxiety even. I work to avoid the things that I dislike about myself. But on an even deeper purpose of that, whether you're working to achieve a better life or you're working and sacrificing for someone else, I think innately or inherently, it's selfish. We work because we want something. And we're willing to do, you know, we're willing to do what it takes to get it, which I think, you know, there's honor in that. But at the end of the day, it's still selfish behavior. Because we're sacrificing time from our loved ones, giving ourselves this mental illusion that it's for our loved ones. We sacrifice. A lot of people, you know, not just me, we sacrifice something. Every day you sacrifice something, whether that's time, whether that's energy, whether that's, you know, someone else's ambitions or your own, you know. We have to be careful not to get wrapped up and forget the reason we're truly working. And I think we have, you know, not only why we're working, but who are we working for? Right? You're not working for your boss. I mean, you may physically work under them, but you're not working for them. You don't go to work and say, I'm gonna make my boss more money, right? We're working for ourselves. And that's why a lot of the time work sucks, is because we have no higher purpose. Even if we know we have a higher purpose and we work for, I work for God, I work for, you know, my higher self. We, in the day-to-day life, we forget that. Not only do we forget that, sometimes we purposely ignore it because it's easier. It's easier to forget that what we're doing is selfish, right? And we justify it. I work 2 weeks at a time away from my family to support them, which is honorable. But at the end of the day, you're separating yourself from others to support yourself or make a life that at the end of the day truly has no purpose. We work a purposeless, we work in a purposeless society where even if we determine our own value and our own worth, and you know, you may have pulled yourself up by your bootstraps and you're no longer on the streets, or you're no longer lazy, or you're no longer So we're manipulating ourselves into thinking that we're doing the right thing. We may be on the right path. I'm not saying you're not doing the right thing. I'm saying don't be complacent even in your hard work. Because I'm guilty of this, is I focus so much on the work itself and who I'm working for that I forget the reason I work. I forget the reason I sacrifice. Because we focus so much on the sacrifice itself that we ignore the person we're sacrificing for. And it often turns us into selfish people. Even though we are self-sacrificing, that self-sacrifice becomes selfish at a point. Because we are no longer bettering ourselves. We are only sacrificing ourselves. I think that's something a lot of us need to work on. And I've been thinking about it a lot lately. And I think that you need to think a lot more about it too. Don't stop thinking. Don't become complacent, even in doing the right thing. Even when we are on the right path, we become so complacent that we forget that we could be doing more. You got to do more. Even if you're already doing the best you possibly can, you know that there's more you need to do. Not just sacrifice-wise. You got to better yourself as you better the people around you, right? My phrase is, be a pillar to myself and to others. Because you can't just, if you're a pillar by yourself, you're just a fucking pillar. And if you're only a pillar to other people, you're going to crumble and they're going to fall as well. But all that to say, stop being complacent. Even if you're on the right path right now, you know there's something more you need to do.